Happy New Year! Pew 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 pew. That's pew pew pew. I mean, I don't really want to have like guns and be like,
Fireworks.
yeah, better. Yeah, Nathan can be like,
Fireworks.
yeah.
So that's it. Happy New Year.
Welcome
It
to
is
2021,
January.
everybody. Let's guess what it's gonna be like.
We've waited a long time for this year to come. And for 2020 to be over.
Oh man.
I know.
So badly. So badly. It's nice to see your full face, I will say.
I know, it's been so long. I'm so used
Yeah.
to just seeing everybody in a mask. I don't know what anybody looks like anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're shooting in different locations this month, so we can see each other's beautiful faces. So if you're better at reading lips, you can do that as well.
Yeah, and it's, you know, for those listening, it probably doesn't make a huge difference, but maybe we don't sound as muffled because having a mask on your face is very confining to your mouth.
Yeah. Yes.
At least I feel so sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yawn.
Oh no, don't start that.
I'm sorry.
I know, there's not much to look forward for in 2021, is there? Is that what I'm learning?
No, already so bored. But it's January, there's probably snow on the ground, and
I'm not very confident about that. I mean,
maybe.
I'm hopeful. I like snow.
I do too. I like it when it's just like a nice fine layer and it like covers everything so you're not seeing like weird grass poking through.
Yep.
But I don't like it when there's like 8-foot drifts and it turns all dirty.
Yeah, and then it's like brown.
Ugh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I get
you
that.
go shopping and they've like snowed, or not that snowed, they've plowed all the snow into like giant piles and they just stay there for 8 months.
Do you know they frown upon playing in those piles?
Why?
Because it's a liability and because there could be other potential hazards that have been shoved up into the giant snow pile.
Oh, have you gotten in trouble for playing on the giant snow piles?
Yep.
Okay. That's kind of what it sounded like.
Yep. I learned the hard way. Well, I, younger, enjoyed seeing all the giant snow piles and was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. It'd be like climbing Mount Everest, except you don't have to die. Your air supply is going to be just fine. And doesn't really happen that way. And
No, you'll get in trouble.
Yep. Parking lot security was like, oop, no. And we said, okay. And then we went home.
This sounds fun though. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is.
It would be really cool though if you did have like one of those giant snow piles and then you like kind of climbed up to the top and then you made it so there was like stairwell or like a slide so you can just like swoop and then it could be like a whole like hangout spot.
You know what I kind of miss because I don't do it anymore is sledding. I haven't gone sledding in years. I don't even own a sled. But like I want to go sledding. Why don't we go sledding?
I mean, you could just use a trash can lid.
That's true. I have plenty of those laying around. Yeah. January brings snow.
My mom growing up used you could also use cardboard. My mom used to use cardboard and they would all like go down the hill and be like, ooh. I mean, then once it died, you were done, but
right, yeah. I know, because we live by the turnpike, so there's obviously like those hills on both sides of the turnpike, and that's where we would normally go sled. I love the going down. I hate the trekking back upward. I don't know if it's better now as an adult, but like as a kid, you've got like 9 layers on and like your gloves come untucked and your wrists are cold and you have snow in your boots and it's just horrible.
I love it. Yeah, I don't think it gets better, honestly.
Oh, I haven't tried it in a long time. I'll have to maybe.
That'd be really fun.
This is the time for it. January, there's snow on the ground. Go sledding. Well, it's not just a Christmas thing. It is just a snow thing.
Yeah, and if you have to stay home too on top of that, like you have plenty of time to warm up.
Yeah, what else are you going to
Nowhere to be? Exactly.
What else
That's what I'm saying.
What you could do is come to the library where we have a lot of programs
Good
to keep you
segue.
busy this January, where it's cold and gloomy, and all you have to look forward to is hot chocolate after you go sledding and get all cold and gross.
Yay.
So I'll just jump right into our January programs real quick. There's not as many as there was for December, but enough to keep you busy for the whole month. So that's good. I'll start out with the Lego Club because I'm doing something different since we still
What are you
can't have,
doing?
well, we can't have programs where we have people in the library yet. So I wanted to do something that kind of goes all month. So last year I did November through December, and it was like that. It's not a scavenger hunt, but you pick up your paper and it had like lots of activities to do on it, and then you'd bring back your filled in sheet and get a prize. So for January, we're doing a Lego scavenger hunt at home.
Ooh.
So you'll come pick up your packet, and it'll be kind of for parents to hide the clues around the house, including the final prize that you get at the end of the scavenger hunt. And they give their kid like the first clue card, and they go through a whole scavenger hunt all over their house.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So
I love that.
we're providing everything that goes along with it, and then you get to just have fun at home.
Wow, dang. I'm sure my mom wished she would have had that. She did a scavenger hunt for us, but she had to make everything herself.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a hard thing. And I really enjoyed making it, but it was also very complicated because every clue card is like a rhyme. And there's like wonky words. And I'm like, what even rhymes with this? What am I even doing with my life? You'll see it when I bring it over to you guys.
Pick one up. I'm gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
Not for me.
You should hide it around the house and have your fiance do it.
Yes, he'll be like, really? I'm like, yep, participation.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it'll be so much fun. So yes, I'm gonna have plenty over at this library and also at Genoa.
Woo.
You know what we forgot to do?
Oh
we
forgot
a name tag on today.
I don't, because I literally came into work and then came straight back here because I was like, oh, starting the podcast right away out the gate.
So you don't even know who she is, but
hopefully I talked to someone and she was like, oh my gosh, you do the podcast, and I was like, oh my god, yes I do. I was like all freaking out, and I was like, she's like, I love the podcast, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so glad you love it. So it was super exciting.
That's awesome.
So I was like excited.
That's really cool though. For those of you that don't know, this is Ariel Gresh. She is the director over at Genoa Library. And I am Sierra. I am a clerk over at Elmore Library. I have so many people that come to me from your library and say, you look like Ariel. I'm like, yeah, I know.
It never fails, honestly. Like, I won't even be doing anything out of the ordinary, and they'll be like, oh, are you a white? And I'm like, no.
I know. You look like my sister. You
the ironic part was I was wearing my name tag.
Yeah, nope. But I mean, the one time I stopped over at Genoa and somebody started a conversation with me, and they're just going on and on. I'm just waiting for them to stop talking before I can be like, I'm not Ariel, but okay. Thank you. I love it.
You know, we're still nice people, so luckily we don't make each other look bad, right?
I hope not. I don't think so. I think it's kind of fun that we look so much alike, that we're like doing a podcast together.
I know.
Okay.
Honestly,
we should have like,
are they siblings? Ooh, maybe.
Yeah. I request for Nathan right now a rabbit trail counter. That was number 1. I'll go back to programs now.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna make that rabbit trail number 2 before we head back to programs. We should do like a siblings quiz and see how well we do. But that can be for a later date.
We should. Yes, I should write that down.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, programs. I'll write it down if you go to programs.
Okay, yeah, do that. Okay. So the Lego Scavenger Hunt will be all of January, starting January 1st, I'll have it out. The next program is January 4th. That'll be when the new podcast airs, which is what you're listening to right now. We just like to put that on there. Podcast goes out the 1st of every month. Same with the Lit Box. The Lit Box sign up for January is January 4th. And the subject for that one is historical fiction. I do not have any. I usually give you like a little hint about what's going to be in there. I'll say Hamilton. Yeah, that's my little hint for January's lit box. So I'm super excited about that.
Oh,
So if you love Hamilton as
sounds
much as I do,
exciting.
you will like it. And I will right away apologize because I think it was October's lit box from last year had a book that was the second in a series, and everybody's like, that was really a good book, but can you not do that? Can you start from the beginning of a series? And right away in January, it's a second in a series. So I
Oh
apologize in advance.
no.
It's what I can get my hands on. I can't always get my hands on the first of a series. So what I'm gonna do is order a bunch of copies of the first book. So when they pick up
Nice.
their lit box, we'll offer it to them. I'll make sure that there's plenty at both libraries.
Yay. Oh, that'll be
So
fun. They'll be excited, I think, to at least have the first one available. That way
yeah,
they
that's
can
I'm like, I think
read
that'll
the
make it
second.
easier. So I'm gonna do that. So again, the clue is Hamilton. Moving on, January 5th, we have a grab and go craft, which is, it just says snow trees. Do you want to elaborate?
I do know of this snow tree. If I have seen it correctly, they're like cute little trees and a I I apologize if I'm misspeaking. But they should be little trees in a jar and it looks like they have snow on them.
Ooh,
They'll be quite festive, especially for the holidays and the wintry
yeah,
season.
that's a good idea. That sounds fun. Okay, January 6th is story time with Ariel on YouTube at 11 o'clock, and we'll have the craft pickup at the library. That is both libraries.
Yes. Yes.
January 7th is photo mural pickup. I have actually not heard about this, so I had to read through it when I got the programs list.
Yes, this is gonna be
This sounds
fun.
amazing. It says, we will be blowing up a photo and splitting it up into parts. Patrons will pick up part of the photo and recreate that part however they want. And then you
Mhm.
return it to the library and we hang the mural in our window for everybody to see. So
Yeah.
that's really cool.
So it'll be like a famous piece of artwork, and then you can pick out a piece as long as it's they just we want it to be the same color scheme so it looks like you can identify the picture. But you
Right.
could make it out of macaroni noodles, pipe cleaners, paint, color pencils. Like it's literally as long as it's
Right.
the same colors, you're good to go.
That sounds amazing. I want to do part of this. This sounds so much fun.
It does. I'm super excited. I've seen the pictures. They're gonna be so cool.
If the patrons don't beat me to it, I'm going to pick up a piece and do part of it.
There's quite a few pages,
Okay.
so I think we might have to do
Yeah.
a few to get people excited.
I think that's a good idea. See, we got
Yeah,
to set the example.
that's
That's
right.
the word I was looking for. All right. January 8th, there's another quick craft, and it is t-shirt tote bags. It'll be on YouTube, and Abigail is heading up that video. January 12th, we have the STEM challenge with Dawn on
Hmm.
YouTube. That goes up at 11 o'clock. It is, how does water freeze? It freezes. I don't know the scientific term for that.
I'm sorry, I'm choking
My
on my
joke
coffee a
was,
little bit.
oh, I was gonna say my joke was terrible. What? Are you
I was
choking on?
laughing, yeah.
January 13th is story time with Ariel on YouTube and the
Yep,
craft pickup at both
every
libraries
Wednesday. Yep,
every
Baroonies.
Wednesday at 11. January 14th, I do end up watching your videos because they're fun.
Oh gosh, I hope so, because there's been some times where like it has happened before, which I know people have noticed, where they get posted late because for some reason, sometimes uploading is not my friend. And so it'll be like an hour late. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody's gonna notice.
No.
But people still watching them. I'm so grateful that people still seem to enjoy them.
It's probably our buildings. I would say for both buildings. They're old brick and the internet does not always work in here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I
they
try to
are
be
fun.
entertaining.
So I encourage you to go on YouTube and watch our story time stuff. On January 14th, there's team trivia with Abigail on Zoom, and that'll be posted up on our website and probably our Facebook. It has the Zoom ID meeting there. That's going to be at 6:30 in the evening. On January 15th is the staff pick of the month is posted on Facebook. And this month it's Kim and Beck. So you can see what their favorite book is or what they're reading right now. It's kind of like a little RA. I'm nervous about ever getting mine. I think I'm late in the year and I haven't currently been reading anything. So
I
that'll be
had
fun.
At least you have some sort of idea. I'm like, I don't know. I'm afraid she's gonna be like, oh, next week, hey, I need your staff pick, and I'm not gonna
Right?
have anything.
Just whatever you can find, just pick up
Yeah.
really quick.
It's been hard to read lately.
I agree. This is not the greatest month for reading. It hasn't been the greatest year for reading. This last year was not good.
No.
All right, I digress. January 19th, another quick craft. Pine cone gnomes on
Cute.
YouTube.
Soup.
That
Soup.
sounds
Soup.
adorable.
They
I don't
are.
even
They're
have to like picture that in my head. It just sounds
It's
adorable.
good.
And then also on January 19th, it is Genoa's evening book club at 6:30. They are going to be reading If I Tell You by Greg Olson, and that's in the Thackeray room. And Ariel's going to give you a little book blurb on that so you kind of know what it's about.
Yes. Yes. It's gonna be a good one. Get your heart palpitating.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
Is it a thriller?
after more than a decade, when sisters Nikki, Sammy, and Tori hear the word mom, it claws like an eagle's talons, triggering memories that have been their secret since childhood until now. For years, behind the closed doors of their farmhouse in Raymond, Washington, their sadistic mother, Shelley, subject her girls to unimaginable abuse, degradation, torture, and psychic terrors. Through it all, Nikki, Sammy, and Tori developed a definite bond that made them far less vulnerable than Shelley imagined. Even as others were drawn into their mother's dark and perversive web, the sisters found the strength and courage to escape an escalating nightmare that accumulated into multiple murders.
Wow.
I know, right?
I didn't expect any of that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be intense.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep,
Guys,
nothing like
if
that to start
you,
off the year.
right? Murder, mother issues. If you guys want to join this thriller, murder, mystery, mother issues book club,
The bizarre ones are always like the best discussion books.
they're
That
very
was like,
interesting. Yeah.
mhm.
There's
When we
there's
did
so
this,
many layers to it, I feel like.
yes, we
Yeah.
did this one where this guy murdered his whole family, and we went over because we were just talking about it so long because it was like, what the heck? He acted like he had
Right?
done nothing wrong, and it was really trippy,
Oh, I don't
super trippy.
understand that at all. But yeah, that does sound like a good read. I might pick that one up if I have
I
time.
had plenty.
Okay. All right. On January 20th is another trivia night. This one's going to be different than the other ones that we've been doing. This is Kahoot Trivia, and they're doing 2000s pop culture. That's at 6:30. Again, the meeting ID on Zoom will be on our website or on Facebook. And then there's a story time that day up on YouTube with the craft pickup available at both libraries. Do you ever play Kahoot?
I have. I actually enjoy Kahoot very much. It's way easier to keep score too.
Yeah, that'll be a good thing, I think.
Plus, the faster you answer the correct answer, you get more points, which I'm all about.
I want to try it because I've never played Kahoot, but I probably don't know that much about 2000s culture. I was very young.
Yeah, I was a small child. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm not gonna know half
but
the stuff
Kahoot
on
gives
there.
you it gives you options, so you could deduce what the right answer could
Oh,
be. So
okay.
it's
So
not
it's like a
strictly
multiple
typing in.
choice.
Yes. At
Oh,
least it was last time I played.
maybe I'll try it. I don't know. Okay. January 21st is Genoa morning book discussion at
Yeah.
9:30 in the morning. This is Brain on Fire, My
Yeah,
Month of
with
Madness.
which if you have not seen this movie, that this book is based on, this is a true story. Mind-boggling.
I
So
have
I'm
not,
excited to read the book because I've seen
right.
the movie.
I would like to read the book. I never watched the movie, but I read part of her story in a Reader's Digest once. So I do remember it very
Yeah.
well. because it's weird.
Yeah.
It's such a crazy thing that happened. So I'll let you go ahead and read
Yeah.
the book blurb on that one.
When 24-year-old Susanna woke up alone in a hospital room, strapped to her bed and unable to move or speak, she had no memory of how she'd gotten there. Days earlier, she had been on the threshold of a new adult life, at the beginning of her first serious relationship and a promising career at a major New York newspaper. Now she was labeled violent, psychotic, and a flight risk. What happened? In a swift and breathtaking narrative, Susanna tells the astonishing true story of her descent into madness, her family's inspiring faith in her, and the life-saving diagnosis that nearly didn't happen. It is a fantastic look at the disease that could have cost this vibrant and vital young woman her life. Brain on Fire is an unforgettable exploration of memory, identity, faith, and love, and a profoundly compelling tale of survival and perseverance that is destined to become a classic.
It's very good. It's very interesting to read that, and it's going to be a great. I feel like your book discussion people love nonfiction books,
Yeah,
or
they
they
asked.
should.
Yeah, they asked for they like a good mixture, which I think is great.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't like if they get too big because I don't have too much time to read, especially right now. So
Right.
it's nice that it can still be a good read
But
and
yeah,
not
I
take
do.
forever.
It's weird. It's one of those stories that like I vividly remember reading this in a Reader's Digest and just being like, I couldn't imagine the torment that she went through, feeling like she was
Well,
losing her mind.
yeah, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but you'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
nope, nope. All right. January 22nd is Homeschool Hour on Zoom. Abigail's
Mhm.
heading that up at 11:30 till
Mhm.
12:30. Um, it says, join us as we learn about penguins and their life cycles. The Zoom ID meeting will be on our website and Facebook. I almost said penguins because I'm so used to making fun of that word now because I don't know if you guys, as listeners, know this, but Benedict Cumberbatch cannot say penguin.
Crested penguins.
Really?
Yes. So if you've never watched the Penguins of Madagascar movie, I suggest you do because he plays one of the main characters on there. I don't remember what his name is. I haven't seen it in a while. But obviously he has to say penguins a lot, but he can't say
Yeah,
it. So he says
penguin.
penguins. He says penguin.
Interesting.
I love it so much. So
Y-
as I'm reading, join us as we learn about penguins. I almost said penguins, and it would have sounded really funny.
I have to look this
You're
up.
looking it
Let's
up.
see. I'm going to see which character he is so I can tell the people.
He's like a wolf or
Oh,
something, I
he's
feel
the
like.
wolf. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What's his name?
Are you talking about Skipper? Are you talking about penguins? Oh, Agent
No,
Classified.
Classified. His name's Classified. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
I knew it wasn't like a real name, but like his name's Classified.
Wow.
So yeah, if you haven't seen that movie, please go do and listen to the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch does not say penguins.
I'm gonna have to watch it now because I'm pretty sure I've seen it and I don't recall that because I love the
Counted. I
penguins.
watched once and he says it like 8 times and he says penguin. I love it so much.
Skipper I think's my favorite penguin. I mean Kowalski's he just steals your little heart there. And then
Yeah.
Rico. Kowalski.
Rico's crazy. Oh my gosh.
He's something else.
It's a good movie. I really like it. So I wonder what our rabbit trail counter is at. It's
I'm
probably
gonna
pretty
say
high.
I'm gonna say at least 7, at least, as
At
of right now.
least.
At
At least.
least.
That's what makes it fun. I'm close to the end of the program, so moving on to January 25th is another manga Netflix party at 4:30. We're continuing to watch One Piece, which I am loving. It is amazing. The books and the anime. Love them both. If you're interested in joining, there's plenty of information on our website, or you can come in and talk to one of us at either library. I would say we've all got the information because you
Yep.
just have to email me and I'll make sure you get the party link to be able to join us. And all the books are available at the library as well as snacks. So, yeah. January 26th, we have another grab and go, and it's a memory jar. This also sounds amazing, and I kind of want to do it. I'll read you the little thing it says here. It says, begin capturing those special moments as they pop up throughout the year. When you get to the end of the year, you will have a jar full of memories to look back on. I love that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like for me, if I was to do this 2 years ago, it would have been full of like decals and stickers and ticket stubs from movie theaters
Love
and
that.
classical theaters, and that would be a really fun jar. So I kind of want to do that this year.
I will say, it's actually really cool. I've done it before. I didn't keep up with it the whole year,
Mm-hmm.
but like I'd put movie stubs along with it too, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, I blah blah blah, and this happened, and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, it was so fun. I'm so glad we did it. And then I was like, oh my god, good job, past you. Way to get out there. Like
Right?
it just makes
It's
you all warm and fuzzy.
it does. It makes you feel good. So I just started, obviously it's gotten cold out. So um just like a month or two ago, I started like actually pulling out my winter coats again. And I
Mm.
was digging through all the pockets and I was finding old movie stubs and stuff, or like just fun little things like that. And I'm like, so that's the last time I wore this coat. And then it was like reliving that memory of like, oh, I went here with these people, with these friends. And it's
Aw,
like, it does. It makes you feel really good. So that's,
wow. What a fun surprise in a coat. The only
I,
surprise I think I've gotten is like Carmex or a quarter, so
oh, yes, I did also find lip gloss in there. A must. So yeah, I would encourage everybody to come do this. That starts January 26th.
especially right now, it's just a nice positive way to like even express yourself. Like even if you're upset, you could be like, "Oh, so and so said this to me and I was upset." And I'm like, "But you know, I'm not going to let it bother me." And then you like go on and you progress throughout the year.
Yeah,
And when you
yeah,
look at it, you're like, self-development, like way to grow.
exactly. And then you can look back at it at the end of the year and just see what your year looked like and the things you've been able to move past. And yeah,
For
I
sure.
like that so much. Also on January 26th is Read Between the excuse me, what just happened? I can never say this. Read Between the Wines
There
at
you go. You got
6:30.
it. You got it.
Got it. They are going to be reading An Officer and a Spy by Robert Harris. And the Zoom ID will be online.
Yes, I'm gonna try to pronounce this last name correctly.
Do it.
Alfred Dreyfus has been convicted of treason, sentenced to life imprisonment on a far island, and publicly stripped of his rank. Among the witnesses to his humiliation, Georges Picard, if I say that correctly, an ambitious military officer who believes Dreyfus' guilt as staunchly as any member of the public. But when he is promoted to head of the French couture espionage agency, Parcart finds evidence that a spy still remains at large in the military.
That sounds really
Ooh,
good.
it does. It probably, I apologize. It probably helped if I pronounced everything correctly the first time.
That reminds me of another book I had read, and it was like during or set during, I don't remember if it was World War One or World War Two. But he was a spy that was kind of like sneaking into places, and it was just a really good read. So I recommend it to a lot of
Ooh,
people. And this one kind of sounds similar to that. So that sounds
there's
really
some good teen World War II books
good.
dealing with espionage. Oh,
Yep. Gotta love
delightful,
those. And teen books. I love teen books.
honestly.
Alrighty, January 27th is story time with Ariel on YouTube. And that'll be the day the photo murals are due. So make sure you get your piece finished and bring it back to the library so we can hang those in the window. January 28th is a game night on Zoom, and they will be playing Jackbox at 6:30. I'm gonna try to make it to this one because I missed the last one.
I know,
I
I
don't
would like to do it.
I don't know what I was doing. I was probably watching TV. It's really fun. I recommend Jackbox because I think they're playing Jackbox Party Pack 4. It's my favorite
Ooh,
one.
it's a good one.
Also, that day is the morning book discussion at the Harris-Elmore Library Meeting Room. That's at 10 o'clock. and they are reading The Inimitable Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse.
Yes. And we're going to follow the adventures of Bertie Wooster and his gentleman's gentleman, Jeeves, in this stunning new edition of one of the greatest comic short story collections in the English language. This classic collection of linked stories features some of the funniest episodes in the life of Bertie Wooster, Gentleman and Jeeves.
I've heard really good things about books that have Jeeves in it.
I
One of my
hope
patrons
so.
is like, oh, your video just did something crazy. I know you people listening can't see it, but her video paused for a second and then she just went like really, really fast as she was moving stuff. It looked crazy.
Ooh, psychic abilities.
I know. So if those listening want to see it, the podcast will be available on our YouTube page as well. But yes, I do have a patron that has told me that any books with Jeeves in it is really good. I've not read any yet. I wish I had more time. I would join all the book groups if I had time to read.
Yeah, like I'm always like, I'm going to join a book group. But currently I lead 2 book groups and I already have my poor ladies and my fellas that come to my book groups are probably like, did you finish the book this time? And I'm like, no, because it never fails that both book groups fall in the same week. So I'm like rushing to finish one to like start another and oh, it's just rough. It's not even like I can alternate or like finish one and start another.
No, they're big books to be sure. That's like the only thing that I head up is the manga club. So we're reading through 5 manga a month. And like I usually get through more manga than that in a month. Just different series and stuff. But that's like the only book group books that I'm reading right now, and they're comics. But that's all I can do.
Yeah, it helps too, I will say. I do like being able to be in my car. Like I was so excited that I was going to read the book group that we had last month, Redbird Christmas. I was like, oh, I can listen to it on my phone. That'll be great. But then the hold list was too long. And in my car, I don't have a CD player, so I couldn't even use that. And I was like, no, there went my opportunities.
Yeah, right. So you didn't even get to read it.
Nope, I'm still reading a smidge. I'm like 2 chapters in.
Oh gosh. That's it. That's the one thing I did read actually was Elmore's book group book, Holidays on Ice. But I took the smaller one. There was 2 versions of it. There was a smaller one that had 6 stories and then or there was like 8 stories and the other version had like 6 extra stories. I didn't take that one.
Hey, good for you. You know your limits and you read the book. That's like
yes,
all you people out there, I'm pointing at you that think audiobooks are not books. It has the same stimulation in your brain, even as if you were reading it. So it doesn't matter what you do, how you listen, how you read, just do it. Just follow your dreams and do it.
Follow your dreams.
I have a sweatshirt that says that, by the way. I should wear it on a podcast one day.
Oh my gosh, you should. Oh, Nathan put that on the screen. I love it so much.
Do it! No, God! Just do it! No, God, please, no!
Oh, your dreams to do it. I should, though, because it does have snowflakes on it. So it'd be perfect for holiday. Maybe I'll wear it in February.
Yes, do it. Wear it in February, and then we'll tell everybody listening she's wearing her Follow Your Dream shirt.
I needed some motivation when I purchased that sweatshirt many eons ago. I was like, yeah, I will follow my dream, Shia LaBeouf.
Yes, and you still are. Look at that.
I love Shia. He's a wackadoodle, but he's a good dude.
He's a good wackadoodle. He's never been anything bad.
No. Makes me laugh.
I know it. For those of you out there who haven't seen it yet, I'm just adding to this rabbit trail. My goodness. Everybody should watch The Peanut Butter Falcon. If you haven't yet.
So good. So good.
So good. I love it so much.
I thought you were going to say the Robert Cantor song.
Oh, no.
do you know what that song is?
No.
Oh, people I'm sure are going to be a little bit like, what? But I had stumbled across this song. It's about Shia LaBeouf.
Oh,
and so, the younger kids that listen, I can't remember what, it was like when the internet had just started, and the song had gone organically viral.
Oh.
And so then years later, Rob Cantor made this video, and that's when I found it for the actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf song.
Okay.
And it's like a musical number in a theater. It's a gem. It's like so bizarre, But
Oh my gosh.
honestly, 2020 couldn't make, things any weirder. What's another year, right?
Right?
2021.
Yeah.
So start it off
Just
right with some
that's
laughs.
right. Why you need to listen to this or watch it. I'm gonna go look it up after
It's
we
quite
close here.
entertaining.
I like weird, entertaining stuff. I don't know.
And you
It's
love
just fun.
theater, you'll be so tickled pink.
Oh, I'm so gonna go look this up. Everybody go look this up as soon as this is over. Don't leave the podcast to go look this up. Wait.
That's
All
something
right.
else. Sorry.
Last thing on the agenda for January 29th, is a DIY quick craft. It doesn't say that it's on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure it will be because I don't know how we would do this in the library. It's hot cocoa bombs. I'm sure everybody saw these. They came out the middle of last year and everybody was making them and buying them. They're delicious. So you make your hot cocoa bombs in a round silicone mold and you fill it up with hot cocoa and yummy stuff, and then you put the other topper on it and then you put it in hot milk and it's delicious.
I know, I want to try it, but it's so hard to find the molds unless you order them online.
I know, that's what I tried finding. I looked in every store and
Same.
I couldn't find one anywhere. So I just bought hot cocoa bombs. I didn't make my own.
Aw.
So sad.
Maybe the trend will die off and then you'll be like, finally, I can buy a
I
mold.
can finally make them.
Maybe it won't be as costly either.
Maybe not. That'll be something we can add to the things we want to do this year.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Do you want
yeah.
Yeah. I'm segueing into the next thing we were going to talk about.
You're such a good seguer.
I try. I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I love when they're like, speaking of which, and then they just go right into the next subject.
Hilarious.
So
You would love they don't really do it anymore because do you know Jenna Marbles?
That sounds familiar.
Well, her and her husband, Julian, do a podcast. They call it the Jenna and Julian podcast. He is like ridiculously way too good at segueing, and that's what it made me think of. So if you need like inspiration, they even do a segue off as part of like one of their podcast games.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
we might have to do that.
Yes. Oh, that would be so much fun. I know. I want this year to have like super fun podcast stuff. And I'll announce it to you guys. I want Ariel and I to learn how to beatbox.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
We're so gonna do that.
Not gonna go well.
We're gonna explain that much later. I don't know what time this year we're gonna try it, but we're gonna try it by watching probably people on YouTube teaching you how to. Oh my God, it's gonna be so much fun. We'll explain more later during that actual episode, but moving on. Do you want to do resolutions for the new year, or do you want to do what we learned this past year?
I think let's do what we've learned.
What we've learned.
Yeah, because I mean, other than like mental health scale, I think I've learned like I already knew like I could handle a lot, but like, I mean, I guess you think you can always can, but you really don't know until like things hit the fan.
Right.
So even though like we have incredibly much higher levels of stress, it's nice to know that I still haven't had a mental breakdown. I still managed to keep a positive attitude.
That's amazing. I definitely did have a mental breakdown this past year, but I'm doing much better now.
That's good. Sometimes you just have to like let it out. Like it's happened before, like in graduate school or like undergraduate, you just take that minute, scream into your fridge.
Yep.
You go with your life. Shed some tears, eat your ice cream, do what you gotta do.
Yeah. I feel like at the beginning of last year, it was very stressful at first, and then we just kind of adjusted to it. And I had later in the year like this psychotic amount of stress come into my life where it was at the point where I felt like I was screaming into my fridge, or I had to leave for work one day and I'm upstairs in my room getting dressed for work and I'm physically like hyperventilating and crying and bawling, and then I wipe my face off, I put my mask on, and I walk into work like nothing ever happened.
Hey, good for you. It's hard.
It's hard. Being an adult is hard.
Yeah. So all you adults out there, way to go. Way to go to work every day.
Amazing.
Way to get that bread.
Right?
Some days I don't want to get that bread.
I don't want to get that bread half the time either. Y'all, That's so amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, maybe that's something we could do. I mean, comment, let us know if we should do like a mental health podcast where we do like exercises. There's like the 4-3-2-1.
Yes.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a good idea.
That's what there's these apps you can get too that are like calming noises, or it's like calming pictures, or maybe we could make stuff here at the library along with if we
Yeah.
did that podcast where we could have do you ever see they're called calming strips? I've seen this
Yes.
kind of stuff online, and then we could do like bookmarks that are
I
it's
love
like calming colors,
that.
and they're in really pretty designs that are like pleasing to the eye, so they're very calming to look at. We should.
Yeah.
So yeah, leave us
Maybe
a
that's,
comment.
yeah, maybe we should color it while we're in the podcast too. That would be
Yes, we could. I do love coloring
fun.
stuff.
See, beautiful things come out of talking. But
It's
don't
kind of
let it build
nice.
up. Yeah.
We
We're all
don't get to
just
see each
people.
other as much, so
Honestly.
it's nice. We get to talk. So,
Yeah. What about you?
what I learned this year, I don't know if I learned a whole lot. Definitely, I would say I did learn some things about myself as I was hyperventilating and
I
making some
mean,
really hard decisions in my life. And
that's how you
um,
grow.
definitely, I definitely think that was like a big growing up thing. And as I told Ariel earlier, I moved out. So I no longer live with my parents, and that's a hard thing.
It is. It really is. Let me tell you, God love my parents. I didn't move out till like 2 years ago. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God. But I'm sure your parents are the same way. They're like, if you ever need to come back or move in, we'll accept you with
Oh,
welcome arms.
yes. As I was like in the process of like considering it, my dad's like, why can't I just clear out one of the extra rooms? You could just have your own bedroom, it'd be fine. And it's like
Oh,
in a way, it's been very helpful, I think, for the rest of my family as well. I've shared a bedroom with my two sisters for a long time. I've None of us have ever had our own bedroom except for my brother.
yeah, it's a
And
hard
so
adjustment.
yeah, and it's a small room, so I think me taking all of my stuff out of there, eliminating one of the beds and the dressers, and it's like it's
Oh,
also freed up some stuff for my sisters. So like they can have more things or kind of spread out a little bit and it's not just all cramped in there. So it has been a good thing for everybody. It's just been very hard.
it's super hard because like I know like when I had a different job and I like Michael and I were living together and then I would see him like every day still because I would still work in Portland and then I would like have lunch
Right.
with them every day, which was
Mm-hmm.
super fun because they were like still in my life. But now that I'm in Genoa, I'm like, oh my God, like I don't see you guys every day anymore. It's hard.
Right. Yeah. So like I'm not living in Elmore anymore. But I work in Elmore. So I told my parents, like, I'll be home every night for dinner. So I'll get off
I
work,
love it.
go over there for dinner, and then I'll, go to my home. So I don't know. It's been a crazy year. And that was definitely like the biggest thing that happened. Um, Not saying like the illness that took over half the world wasn't a big thing. I just mean personally. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say this is the advice my mom gave me when they dropped me off like for college and I went to my undergrad. And she was like, we're so proud of you. And like I was saying goodbye, like I had moved in, like we had lunch together, and they had to
yeah.
drive like 6.5 hours back to Ohio.
Oh my
And
God.
then she was always like, now I love you, you're gonna do great. And then she's like, but just don't look back. Keep going forward. Even if you're upset, you're doing so well. Like you're gonna be fine. You are fully capable. I know you're fully capable too. And then like she was crying, I was crying, but I didn't look back.
Right?
And then
Oh
she
my
looked back.
gosh. I am a
Hard.
sympathetic crier. If I
Yes,
see my
me too.
mom and she has those like glassy eyes, I will just
Mhm.
start waterfalls. It's
Even
like
the
my,
movies. Oof.
yep. Yeah, I'll cry at just about anything.
Yeah.
Um, I felt so bad. Rabbit trail. A couple years ago,
I
uh,
think we're way off the rabbit trail. We're like 3 trails over.
several years ago, my dad, my younger sister, and I went to Florida. So we drove to Toledo. We got dropped off at the airport, and my brother came with us to keep my mom company on the drive home because we had to be at the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we actually got up at 3.
Ooh,
So
ooh,
he just
man.
went along to keep her company and keep her awake and everything. And he's like, she was fine. she waited kind of until she could see the plane take off. She's driving home, getting on the freeway, and he said she cried. She just lost it and cried the entire way home. And we were only gone 5 days.
It's hard. I think honestly, I don't think like people are like, "Oh, you'll be fine." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be fine, but I'm just gonna be sad for a while." Like
Right?
when you raise kids or like you grow up with people, like sometimes I still
Yes.
cry and I'm like, "Oh, like I
I
know I can
know.
go see you anytime, but
Now, it's been years that like I've lost people and I still think about them all the time or I still cry.
yeah."
That's a normal thing for
Sometimes I get a
sure.
little bit sad too because I think about like Christmas and how like we would always be in the same roof. I'm starting to tear up.
Yes. I know. I can
And
literally
then
like I can feel it. My eyes are I
I
can't
know we gotta stop or else I'm gonna cry. The point is being things change and it's not always pleasant.
no, but you can always move move on. So I think
Yeah,
definitely 2020 was a year of like figuring things out and growing up. And it's not always fun, but sometimes it's okay.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay.
Some fun things that I learned.
Yeah.
I made the jump to TikTok. Um,
No way. Did you really?
I did. I don't record anything for all of you wondering out there. However, I watch a lot of TikTok, like a little bit too much.
Yeah, I have a friend that does that. She sends me TikToks all the time because I'm not on TikTok. So she'll just send me
Oh
the
man,
funniest things. And
there's
oh
a
my
there's
goodness.
a TikTok that sums up everything. It was part of like the Disney movie where it's the voodoo man and he's like, "Oh, come on, won't you shake a poor sinner's hand?" And it's
Mm-hmm.
like TikTok users are the voodoo man and then like people who aren't on TikTok is like the
Yeah.
innocent guy.
Oh
And
my God. Yes. That is
it just
so accurate.
it really is. And I was
Oh
like,
my
"Oh my God."
goodness.
There have been some good chuckles. I will say, for all you people out there, supervise your children. However, if you're an
Oh
adult
yeah.
living your best life, there is some funny TikToks out there that'll like crack you up.
Agreed. Oh my gosh. Yes. She sends me the funniest stuff. And it's like, I wish I could save it or I'll go back and try to find it on like YouTube or something. Like maybe they post it on YouTube or their Insta because I don't want to make that jump yet. But I'm glad somebody
Yeah,
else did.
I
It
did.
wasn't me.
Quarantining, I took it. I even tried the whipped coffee trend that I
Oh,
had seen.
my sisters love whipped coffee.
I don't know if it was the espresso I purchased, but I was not as a huge fan. I'll just drink regular coffee.
Yeah, I didn't care for it much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a
I
interesting thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I learned how to make beer cheese, not on TikTok, but I made homemade pretzels and I was like, "Ooh, beer cheese goes good with that."
Right?
Very important to select the right beer or else it tastes really funky.
Oh, yeah, that would taste
Yeah.
weird, I suppose.
Yeah. The first batch I made was gross.
I always
I
kind of
did
wanted to
not.
try making your own cheese. I've never tried.
I would segue at your local library. We have books on how to make cheese, even with a
Oh,
pressure cooker. So call us
that's
up at
right.
Genoa. I've ordered it. It's so intriguing. I want to make it.
Yes. I love cookbooks. They're the best for everything. And the library
Yeah.
is the best place to find cookbooks that you don't have to
Yep.
buy.
I've
You
been
can take them
ordering a lot.
home, make all the recipes, and then bring it back.
Because we had a lot of time on our hands. I made sure to get a lot of things that you guys can work on from home.
Yes, exactly. Keep you busy, especially January, because we
Yeah,
said tons of snow, sledding, makes your body hurt. You want
honestly.
to do something fun and
Make
simple.
hot chocolate bombs. Do what you gotta do.
Exactly. Yes. Um, well, I'd say one of the big things I did this year would be learning violin because
Yeah.
it's something I always wanted to do, but I never took lessons in anything like that through school. I was homeschooled, so I didn't have like the extracurricular like
Oh,
classes or
okay.
whatever. Um, so super randomly, I'm like, I still want one. So I get online, I go to Facebook Marketplace, find a violin for $50 for sale
Wow,
in
that's
Port Clayton.
good.
I know. So I jump in my car, drive up there, buy it, and then I'm like, well, now I have one. Now what?
I guess I have to learn.
Yeah, so I talked to Jen, our director here, because I know she's part of an Irish music group.
Nice.
They do Irish dancing and they play Irish music. I think we might have videos of that on our YouTube page. Several years ago, they came into the library and did music. Um, so I contacted one of the ladies from that group that teaches violin. So I was able to learn a little bit. I had to stop because, as I said, I moved out and my life got super crazy and I didn't have as much time to put into learning violin. So I had to stop my lessons. But yes, I brought my violin with me because I was going to share a little bit, but now I feel silly sharing.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Even play us like a few notes or like I know with the recorder they have like bags, BAG.
Oh, yeah, I think we were saying bidet because it's GDAE as our notes. So
Even
I
a little
did tune it. I tuned it this morning. It took me a very long time because
that sounds pretty good from the computer.
I need new strings. It sounds really good. So
honestly, for like computer audio, yeah, honestly, it sounds pretty solid. At least like
D is probably my favorite note, and it's probably the one my teacher and I actually spent the most time practicing on. I can't really place my fingers on the strings because we didn't get super far in that. That was one of my last lessons, was putting my fingers on the strings, but I'm very bad at that portion. Let me see if I can adjust everything here. It's kind of nice not wearing a mask too to play. Because when I would go to her house to learn lessons and we would both wear a mask and sit on the other side of the room from each other. And we'd put our chins down on our violins and then our mask would come up. And we both wear glasses and it was like the most annoying thing ever.
Yeah, so I'm glad I'm not in band anymore because that'd be really annoying if I was in high school or middle school trying to play.
Yeah, I should get more practice in, but I'll just play. Oh, I don't even know what this one's. I think it's A. She had a special book she was teaching me out of, and I can't think of the name of it, but there were just several like simple things that would be like. Ooh, as long as I don't hit another note, let me turn here.
Wow, dang, that's like solid job. I don't know if I would sound that good on a violin.
I'm not bragging, but I will say that she said she was surprised that I wasn't very scratchy.
Yeah.
Like this was my first time ever playing. I had to get online and buy like my own bow because the ones that it came with were warped because they had sat in the box for so long. So I had to buy a new bow. Fine, but I need new strings and I don't have the money for it yet. But she's like, it's amazing that like, I guess I started out so well, but maybe that was easier.
I mean, I do
you can train
think
me in the way she wants to.
Yeah, it's always good to have a solid foundation though too. And it sounds like you don't have any bad habits, which is always the easiest to teach people when they don't have bad habits.
Yeah, that's what she said because she's like the certain arm movements because she's like I don't want to see your shoulder moving or your upper arm moving. It's got to be like all in your lower arm and your wrist, which in a way is not great for me. I have a very bad wrist. It happens to be the one that I use constantly. And it's the one that she's like, you have to twist it like this as you're holding your bow. And I'm like, my wrist doesn't twist like that. So it's a thing. It's trying. So I'm going to play you one more because it's my favorite one. It's the B. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. And then I might stop because my G string doesn't sound super pretty. So I'll start at the bottom and work up. There you go.
That's so awesome.
Some of my violin skills.
Okay, I don't even think my trombone skills could like even compete with that because I wasn't that good anyway to begin with.
It's been really fun for sure. It's like I've always wanted to learn an instrument and it was just it's not that far. I do have to drive to BG for lessons, but I was doing it every 2 weeks, so it's like it wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So, I miss it. But yeah, in my new bedroom, I need to get a hook to hang this on the wall because my teacher said like if it's out and it's hanging on the wall, you can always make sure it's tuned, And then every day you walk in the room, just be like, oh, I need to practice for a minute. And you just snatch it off the wall and start playing.
Oh, nice. That's a good idea.
Instead of having it live in my closet in a box.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that way.
Yeah.
How about 2021? What are your goals for that?
I definitely want to get back into the lessons if I can. And
Nice.
really focus on that and learn to play a real ditty. And then maybe
A
I
real
can entertain
ditty.
you guys one day.
Ooh.
I would say my biggest goal is probably, I know it's super cliche because this is everybody's, New Year's goal or resolution or whatever, but I really do want to start working out more, literally just for health reasons. I want to feel better about
Yeah.
myself and feel healthier. So eating healthier is like along with that goal to start
Yeah.
working out and just, I want to start small. I'm not like looking to get 6-pack abs or whatever. I just want to feel better.
Yeah, I like walking. I started walking recently more, and you can
Yeah.
just tell it makes a difference, even if you're not like sweating for like hours or even minutes. Like
Right.
it's nice. You're outside, you get fresh air, or inside.
Yeah, I want to do that. And then I want to, this is silly. I want to make a sourdough starter. I've always wanted to make sourdough bread. So this year I'm going to learn how to make a sourdough starter that you keep in like a jar in your cupboard and you just feed it all the time. And then you can take pieces off and bake it or give it to people to bake.
I love it. Love it. Not only are you getting that bread, you're making that bread.
I'm
Pew,
making
pew,
that
pew.
bread. That is right. What are your New Year's resolutions?
Mine are kind of, other than the violin, are kind of on the same thing, like just kind of feeling better every day. Because, like stress is a huge factor. And I really would like to get better into time management. Like before the pandemic happened, I was like doing my thing, getting stuff done. And now that we were in quarantine, it's just like it's so hard to stay on track now. So I would like to be better about when I'm like, oh, which I do have follow through, but it's like some days you're like, oh, I'm so tired. I can't continue to work on that.
Right.
And I would
Yeah.
like to be like, oh, I can get it done in a day and then actually get it done in a day. But things happen to where
Right.
they take more precedence and you're like, oh, not happening today.
No, I definitely feel that. I have to have like a calendar or sticky notes with like all the things like, oh,
Yeah.
I need to get this done.
Yeah. And on top of that, I do like cooking more where like it's not so much process, like starting fresh with everything, but it
Yes.
takes so much dang time. So
That's,
that's
yeah, I'm into that too. I want to try some new recipes and like
mm,
actually learn how to make some real food. Because I am like a 5 ingredient or less cooking person. I
yeah,
hate recipes that have 12 ingredients for one portion of it and then 12 more
yeah.
ingredients for the next step. Like, I won't do it. I just won't even make it.
Yeah, I started with like one pot dishes. Like I have a sauerkraut apple like
Ooh, ooh.
baked dish. So you put sauerkraut and chunks of apple
Mm-hmm.
and kielbasa in it. And it's like bam, mix it all together, fling it in the oven, you're done.
Oh, it sounds amazing. My mom makes one that I want to make, and it's also kielbasa, but you make it in a crock pot. So
Yum.
it's kielbasa, cubed potatoes, and green beans in
Ooh,
Italian sauce or like Italian seasoning. So you just
yum.
dump a whole, uh, what do you call it? Container, a whole
Y-
jar, not
Yep.
jar, one of those of Italian seasoning, and then you
Yeah.
just cook it until it's done.
Dang.
I love it
I
so
have
much. It's
plenty
so
of
easy.
recipes, so if you need some, let me know.
I know I have so many recipes, but I never make anything. So yeah, this year we'll make new
Uh-huh.
recipes.
Yes, yes. Yeah, well, I hope this year's better. I hope it's
Me
better for all of
too.
you out there as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. I don't think the pandemic's really gonna give us a break. It might be a little bit better, but definitely travel and concerts and things are gonna be probably on hold. I know some
I
stuff I was
know.
looking forward to this year already announced that they're canceled. Um,
No. Ugh.
I think they're worried. They don't want to keep postponing and postponing and postponing, so they're just
Yeah.
saying we're canceled until we know for sure that we can do it.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some stuff I'm not going to get around to doing or seeing this year because they're just being cautious, which is, that's
Yeah.
better. But this is a great year it's new beginnings. We can start working out, feeling better,
Yeah.
moving forward and adulting, cooking up some great grub.
Yes. Yes.
Learn some new things. Share in the
Honestly.
comments some new things that you learned in 2020 and
Yeah.
how you grew as a person and what this year meant to you.
Honestly.
And what 2021 might have in store.
Yeah. We're here.
We're here.
2021.
We waited so long.
Woo! The
I
level
can't even-
5 of Jumanji.
I can't even believe it. Do you remember when the library's like, oh, we're closed for 2 months?
Yeah. It was, I distinctively remember because it was like, oh, there was all this like word on the street, and we were like, what the heck is happening? And all of a sudden it was like, bam, library's closing,
Right there.
bam, business is closing.
I know.
And we had like
Oh
this
my gosh, it was
emergency board
crazy.
meeting, and we were like, we got to follow, we have to do this. And it was
Yeah.
like,
all the protocols, the masks were,
yeah,
we got plastic up everywhere, all over the library.
oh,
It's
it was
been a
crazy.
year. That does remind me though, something I did in library this year, it was during the months while we were closed, I painted a mural on our wall, and it's book spines, or it looks like book spines. It's up by the front door of the Elmore Library. If nobody's listening has got a chance to see it,
Yeah,
you
it's
can
really
come in
cool.
and look at it. I was gonna ask Ariel if you guys ever have a blank wall over at Genoa. I'd love to make my mark over there too.
Well, don't you worry, because there have been discussions of that.
Oh, has there? Ooh,
There
good,
has.
good.
So we'll see. We're discussing painting our walls, so
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
sometime after that. Yeah.
it was so much fun, and it was honestly, it was a very good idea, I think, for me to do it while we were closed,
Absolutely.
because it was easy. I didn't have to wear a mask in here. I know it sounds terrible, but there was nobody else coming in. I think Kim was coming in a couple times a week, maybe just to check the mail or get the newspaper or something, but I was only at the front door.
Yeah. I agree. There's been some things that we've done at Genoa that would have been very challenging for us to do. Like, for those that have been in the library, you
Yeah.
guys know we've rearranged all of our book stacks, so they're not where they were
yeah.
originally. So we're more ADA compliant. People can get in and out of the aisleways. There's more natural light, and you have to take all the books off the bookshelves and then put them on carts
Oh my
and
goodness.
then move them around. It was, whew.
It was such a process, and it's like I felt so bad because we just did that a year ago with the rebuilding over here, and that was rough. I mean, there were days that's like my hands were bleeding and I was almost crying, and I was just pushing through it. I'd go home and everything hurt.
Yeah.
So it's like when Jen said you guys were doing that over at Genoa, I'm like, oh, I feel bad for you, but I'm so not helping.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it was so funny too.
I just went through this.
Yeah, Jen was like, oh, I'm not gonna help, and there she was helping us. Like,
yeah, she was there every day. It was so great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was worth it though.
It's been a year of growing everywhere for everybody.
Honestly, it really has.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Welcome 2021. We made it.
We're glad you're here, and we hope it's, if anything, slightly better than last year.
Yeah. A lot would be better, but we'll take slightly at this point.
We'll start small because we don't know what the future holds, but we know that it holds a lot of fun programs at the library and hopefully some new recipes and personal growth.
Yep. So. All right.
Thank you for listening to January's podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say welcome to the Harris-Elmore and Genoa Libraries podcast. Oh my gosh. I guess thanks for watching the Harris-Elmore and Genoa Libraries podcast with Ariel and Sierra.
And we will see you next time.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.